Welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Hey everybody, we are back. It's great to be here. Brand new week here on the Cabral Concept, our Mindset and Motivation Monday. Can't wait to get into today's show, which is based around one of the most popular books that I've ever seen. I actually just went to Amazon to see what the subtitle of the book is, and I'll give you that in just a moment. And I saw that it has almost 90,000 five-star reviews. That is completely insane. I mean, if you get 500 reviews at all on Amazon, that is quite the feat. But 90,000, that is unbelievable. And the overall rating is 4.8 stars. So absolutely incredible. The book has been around now for, let's see how many years, because it's been at least a couple decades. And I'll link that up for you. So if you go to stephencabral.com/2670, that's today's show. I will link it up. I'm going to link up, instead of the 3 big takeaways today, I'll link up the 5 big takeaways so that you can make sure that you understand what your preferred love language is. Now, the book, of course, is called The 5 Love Languages. If you haven't heard about it before, that's okay. It's called The Secret to Love That Lasts. And one of the reasons why I wanted to bring this up today isn't just for, significant other-based relationships. It's about becoming more self-aware. You have to understand is that, and I just put a quote out about this on social media, and it said this, it's like, there is no one best way to live your life. There's no one exact diet, no one exact exercise, there's no one exact job or career that works for every single one of us. But there is a formula, right? There are formulas that lead to best lives. I mean, there really are. My life wasn't the best life until I started to better follow the formula. The more I follow the formula, the better my life got, right? And so I look at that, and I'm not going to go too deep in the formula. I've done that before. It's the Be, Do, Get formula, and we can link that up as another podcast, of course, today. But it's becoming self-aware, right? You have to know what it is that you want, then believe that you can actually achieve it, and then work towards that ideal every single day, knowing that it's going to take days, weeks, months, or maybe even years to achieve it. Well, that's our life. Like, our life is made up of our worthy ideals. Our life is made up of the process, not the getting of the thing. Our life is made up of the process of creating an ideal life. And that leads to a great life. If you understand that, I know people throw out the word journey, right? But it's a process. How you live your life, you decide on that process. Positivity, negativity, right? We can't be all positive all the time, but if we have more positivity, more positive days than not, even better. Well, so much of our happiness and our life often does revolve around our relationships. And so it's very important to understand what love language you speak. Because if you don't know it, how can you help chat with your partner or relationships as to what you respond best to? So I didn't know about this until maybe maybe 5 years ago, 7 years ago. The years fly by, right? So I don't exactly know how many years it's been, but there's a book by Dr. Gary Chapman, and it's a concept book. It's an understanding book of a self-awareness of your life. Like, what do you respond best to? So the 5 love languages, how to express heartfelt commitment to your mate. And basically, this only works in 2 ways. So one, if you can do this with your significant other, your partner, your spouse, your husband, your wife, etc. What I want you to think about is this. You're going to go through these 5. You're going to think about for yourself. Here's the quiz. Which one best describes you? And you can think about a 1A and 1B, okay? Because it's hard to just maybe pick one. But then you want your spouse to do the same, or your partner. And then before you let them know what you chose for you, they have to guess what yours is. And it's a great game to play. My wife and I both did this, and I absolutely recommend. So I'm going to go through the 5 right now. Think about your 1A and 1B, your top 2, all right? Think about your top 1, and then your 1A, your 1B. And then I want your spouse to do the same. So send them, your partner, send them this podcast, have them do it, and then write down what you each felt about you, and then have them try to guess. See how well they know you, or how well you know yourself, because maybe your partner knows you better than you know you. It can happen. All right, so let's go into it. Let's get into it now. The first love language, there are 5, is words of affirmation. What are words of affirmation? Words of affirmation this is the language others use, and we're going to make it about you. So I want to make all of this about you. The language others use to affirm other people such as you. So compliments, like, do you love getting compliments? Now, keep in mind, most people are going to enjoy all 5 of these, right? There's no doubt about it. Which one do you enjoy the most? That's the big thing. And sometimes you don't really care, right? Do you care if people, give you adoration and compliments and appreciation and calling you out in a good way, right? Letting people know all the great things that you do, and people and your significant others saying that they appreciate you, they thank you, they don't know what they would do without you, that they love you, right? Those are words of affirmation. Where does that fall in your chart? I'll review them at the end, because as you're thinking about them, like, oh, yeah, of course I like it when my, significant other tells me that they love me and they appreciate me. No doubt about it, right? So we all like that, but where does it fall on your chart? All right, so let's go into it. The second one is quality time. How does this stack up for you? Are you someone that needs a lot of undivided attention from other people in general, but of course your partner? What does that fall on the hierarchy for you? Spending time together, them taking you maybe away on vacation, asking you to go for a walk so you can talk together, spending quality time at night, putting the phones away, just the two of you talking, chatting, discussing, etc., right? So meaningful conversations just with the two of you. Where does that stack for your friendships, your relationships, and of course, your significant other? The third one is receiving gifts. So a lot of these could be surprises, like, oh, someone comes home and they just saw something that they thought that you were going to love, and they brought you a gift, right? So the thought, the effort, and the love behind bringing you a gift that they thought you would really enjoy. So it's someone thinking about you, and they're thinking about you, and instead of asking for quality time or giving you compliments, they are showing their appreciation, their love, their affection by actually bringing you a gift, right? It could be anything that just shows thoughtfulness or love. They showed up at your work one day, they brought you lunch, or they sent you flowers, whatever it might be. That's the receiving of the gifts. All right, that's number 3. The fourth one is acts of service. So you're probably starting to get it by now. The way that they show their love and appreciation is actually by doing things for you, right? Actions speaking louder than words. So do they, make you breakfast, or they go and pick up your, small things, right? In relationships, dry cleaning, or, what's another act of service there? Making your coffee for you in the morning, or your tea, or bringing you breakfast in bed. Any one of these things where they're thinking about you and then they're doing a little something for you. All right. So that is an act of service. It requires some thought. It requires time on their end and effort to carry through that. A lot more effort, honestly, than maybe words of affirmation. Right? And they're not getting anything necessarily specific out of it, like quality time. Well, you both get to appreciate that, right? But the I would say gifts giving, as well as the giving of an act, service, well, that's kind of that one-sided. And then the fifth one is physical touch. So the physical touch would be hugging and kissing and putting your arm around someone, all those things to let them know that you love them, that you're there for them, that you're thinking about them. And it's another way basically of showing love, right? Beyond the ones that we talked about before, and I'll go over those. But for a lot of people, that shows another's commitment. And it shows that they do care, and it's something that is important to them. So speaking along the lines of importance, though, we have to understand is that we all grow up differently. We all have different emotions. We have different emotional-based needs. And the 5 love languages really play into that. So it's thinking to yourself that there isn't one necessarily better than other. It's funny because when I take people through Ayurvedic body type or dosha assessments, I always know what most of the guys are going to try to choose. And I already know what most of the, women in practice that are going to choose. Like, it's just, that's the way that our minds in a Western-based mindset tend to gravitate to. And it's also, time in the world that we're at, a lot of things. And I think that sometimes for the 5 love languages, we start to choose the one we think that we should have for us, not necessarily the one that it is that we think that we do need. And so what I would say is start to go through these, right? So when I go through it, if you just say, gut-based reaction, what's the top one for you? Is it words of affirmation? People saying nice things about you. Is it quality time? Getting to spend one-on-one time. Is it receiving gifts? Someone's thinking about you, they bring you a gift. 4th one, acts of service. Someone's doing something for you. Or 5th one, physical touch. And it's not always easy because maybe all of these speak to you, or maybe you feel like, I don't know if any of these really speak to me to that high a level. So if that's the case, and 1 or 2 don't jump out at you, what I recommend is actually sitting with these for a little while, thinking about them. Like, I most enjoy it when, and you might say, my spouse tells me that she appreciates or he appreciates all of the hard work that they put in for X, Y, and Z, for thinking about you, like whatever it might be. Like, you want to think about that. And then quality time. Hey, I really appreciate it when my partner, plans a weekend for us, or they want to sit down and talk, at night, and they want a couple hours just to themselves. And then the 3rd one, the receiving of the gifts. I really enjoy when I get a gift, or even someone's doing something, bringing me something that shows me that they care. The acts of service, they're doing something. Instead of giving you the gift, they're actually doing the thing for you. It's kind of like doing a gift for you, right? That's the acts of service. And then the physical touch is like the importance of that in your life to ensure, or you feel like, okay, you've got that love, that commitment, that appreciation, that affection from someone else in your life. And there is no wrong answer. But here's the thing. I'm going to let you figure that out for yourself, right? Someone like me, really anybody else, is not able to help you figure that out, except maybe a significant other. Now, the thing is though, once you know yours and you know your significant other's love language, the goal then is to play towards that. Meaning, like, if your love language is quality time, but your significant other's is receiving gifts, they're not the same, right? So even though yours is quality time, that's what you want, a lot of times we think that's what the other person must want too, right? That's the tricky thing. We always think that other people are just like us. And so we don't realize that the quality time and the receiving of the gifts is very different. So it is very important that your significant other tells you what their love language is. And if you can begin to have these conversations, then you know how to give more of yourself and show your appreciation and love to your significant other, and they do as well. Because if they just give you more of their love language, it doesn't speak to you, right? These are unspoken words. And once I started to really understand this and learn this, I realized that I am not necessarily giving what I should be giving in the way that I should be to my significant other if I'm asking them to follow my love language. And again, this is important. It doesn't necessarily shift throughout life. There's different priorities in life, but it doesn't necessarily shift. This is more ingrained, more from childhood and growing up, and those types of emotional wants and needs and what you're used to that you may be looking for. Sometimes it's unfulfilled, needs and wants that you just prefer. And instead of, yes, you should do the work, of course, always do the work on yourself and improve, but that doesn't mean that you can't enjoy these things. So I want to leave it at that for today, figuring out your words of affirmation, quality time, receiving gifts, acts of service or physical touch, love language, and then asking your spouse, significant other the same. So first you write yours down, your partner writes theirs down, then you try to guess each other's, and then you share your 1A and even 1B if you'd prefer. All right, hopefully this was helpful. I found it to be a great exercise. I have no doubt that you can only learn from this And hopefully only good things come from it because you are now teaching another what really speaks to you, and hopefully they can do the same for you as well. Take care, everybody. Hope this was a great Mindset and Motivation Monday. I thank you. I appreciate you for tuning in. Do feel free to share the show with anyone you believe it could serve, especially your significant other. Before you go, I wanted to ask you this question. What if I could teach you in just a couple of hours how to transform your thyroid, hormones, adrenal, cholesterol, blood pressure, blood sugar, weight loss, energy, mood, brain, pregnancy, anti-aging, or many other health-related issues? After 20 years in private practice, after seeing and overseeing 250,000 client appointments, I sincerely feel I have the real-world data and have found the answer you've been searching for. So what I've done is spent hundreds of hours of my own time refining what you need to know in order to uncover your underlying root cause health issues and then begin to rebalance the body and bring it back to a state of robust health and wellness. I'm going to teach you exactly what I do in my private practice so you can understand how you got here and now what you need to do in order to heal. You'll receive all of the important success checklists, protocols, and even ways to customize it to make the program fit your busy life. And you'll get all of this at a fraction of the price. Let me save you the time, money, energy, stress, and frustration of not knowing what to do next. Instead of reading dozens of books on the topic and seeing multiple practitioners, I will condense everything that you need to know in just a few hours of video tutorials that you can watch and listen to anywhere. Together, we will make this healing process an enjoyable one that you can take with you for the rest of your life. I wish you all of the best of health and happiness, and I hope to be able to guide you on your healing journey through my Health Results Accelerators. Simply choose the health imbalance you're currently suffering from, and by the end of today, you'll know what went wrong and how to get well again. I guarantee it. For details, head over now to stephencabral.com/courses.